The frequency with which the land of Israel unveils new archaeological finds supporting the Bible never ceases to amaze. And the past year was no exception. There have been some amazing announcements of findings that expand our knowledge of the world of the Bible. It will take years to analyze and interpret the discoveries. The most important things on earth will not be widely known for years. But in this video we reveal to you the top 10 finds of 2022. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on exciting archaeological discoveries. 10. Imported vanilla. Residue on 6th century BC jars in Jerusalem included imported vanilla that was used to sweeten wine, indicating widespread trade contacts at the time of Judah's monarchy. This finding was unexpected. Vanilla was not at all known to be available to the Old World before the arrival of Columbus, according to the news statement. The Bible does not specifically mention vanilla, although it does make reference to spiced wine in Isaiah 49:26. The abundance of wine in the city right before its destruction is also mentioned by the prophet Jeremiah, who was writing at the same time that these vessels were being utilized. Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, every jar is filled with wine. 9. A monument to Hezekiah. Hezekiah is again in the news after the identification of the Judah monarch in an inscription discovered in the area of the Gihon Spring in Jerusalem. Professor Gershon Galil of Haifa University has determined that a piece of limestone discovered in 2007 is the earliest known monumental inscription honoring a significant accomplishment in ancient Israel or Judea. They didn't seem to exist in Israel or Judea, although they were quite prevalent in other ancient cultures. Galil claims that there is now proof that they did though. He has interpreted the fragmentary text to read, Hezekiah made pools in Jerusalem, which is a quotation from 2 Kings 20 verse 20, which reads, he made the pool in the tunnel by which he brought water into the city. The pool was one of Hezekiah's great constructions according to the biblical story, and it was built to protect Jerusalem from prospective sieges. 8. Ivory fragments in Jerusalem. Professor Yuval Gadot and Dr. Yifta Shalev stated in September 2022 that they had found approximately 1,500 bits of intricately engraved ivory that came from elephant tusks, a substance considered to be more valuable than gold at the time. The ivory artifacts were destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BC, and they are from the First Temple period. Such ivory artifacts have never before been found in Jerusalem. Yet the new discoveries illustrate how significant it was and places it in the same league as the capitals of Assyria and Israel, Shalev wrote. We were already aware of Jerusalem's importance and centrality in the region in the First Temple period. These ivory pieces may have been initially inlaid in a couch throne, according to Gadot and Shalev. The biblical account of this historical period is further supported by this. Solomon built a large throne of ivory and covered it with the purest gold, according to 1 Kings 10 verse 18. 7. The Lachish comb. An inscription on a tiny ivory comb excavated at Tel Lachish in southern Israel is very remarkable. The inscription is Canaanite, the first alphabetic language, and it's the earliest complete sentence that has been found written in the language. It was written around 1700 BC, about 100 years after alphabetic writing first developed. The comb had big teeth on one side and smaller teeth on the other side, an early example of the kind of lice comb that can still be purchased today. The sentence says, may this tusk root out the lice of the hair and the beard. One of the archaeologists involved said that the discovery provides new evidence for the development of the alphabet. Prior to this time everything was written in either hieroglyphics in Egypt or in the cuneiform script by various languages in Mesopotamia, so to have this complete sentence found at this early stage is quite remarkable. 6. Reading Elamite. Linguists have finally cracked an ancient language's code and can now read linear Elamite. Around 90% of the Elamite symbols were deciphered using a bilingual inscription that named numerous ancient Mesopotamian kings. All of the Elamite texts discovered so far have been located in what is now Iran, and the deciphered text is roughly 4,000 years old. The Bible makes a few references to the Elamites. Cyrus the Great overthrew them, and they afterwards joined the Persian Empire. In the Elamite city of Susa, a Persian palace serves as the setting for Esther's story. Acts 2 also makes reference to Elamites when the apostles were given power by the Holy Spirit to preach the gospel in other languages. 5. Mount Ebal curses. A curse tablet bearing an ancient Hebrew inscription was recovered in the dump piles from excavations on Mount Ebal. A hidden text was revealed using advanced scans. The recently deciphered inscription reads, Cursed, 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 cursed by the God Yahweh. You will die cursed. Cursed you will surely die. The Bible tells in Deuteronomy 27 that Mount Ebal is the mountain from which curses were pronounced. The tablet dates from the time of Joshua, who renewed the covenant with God on Mount Ebal. It is the oldest inscription containing the divine name Yahweh yet discovered in ancient Israel. It is further evidence that the Bible was written at the time it claims to be, and not centuries later as some scholars assert. 4. New dating method. In 2022, a new way to reconstruct military campaigns in Bible times was developed. Paleomagnetic studies the ferromagnetic particles in objects that have been heated at high temperatures, such as in a pottery kiln or in a layer destroyed by fire, to determine the signature of the magnetic field at the time of heating. This helps archaeologists to determine when certain settlements were destroyed. As an illustration, Beth Shemesh, which paleomagnetic evidence indicates was destroyed at the start of the 8th century BC. This lends credibility to the biblical text, which depicts a conflict between Judah and Israel about this time when there was not any known foreign invasion. So Jehoash king of Israel went up, and he and Amaziah king of Judah faced one another in battle at Bethshemesh, which belongs to Judah. And Judah was defeated by Israel, and every man fled to his home. 2 Kings 14 verse 11 and 12. Now we are getting to the top 3. 3. Ishmael Papyrus. The Ishmael Papyrus is a Dead Sea Scroll fragment rediscovered in September. The fragment belonged to an anonymous American living in Montana. Only 3 papyri from the time of the First Temple have been found, including this one. The 4 lines of text on the fragmentary papyrus contain the name Ishmael, along with line fragments saying, "Don't send, cry after him and of no help." This find might be related to a bulla with the inscription belonging to Ishmael, son of the king. Ishmael, a witness to the destruction of Jerusalem, is mentioned in Jeremiah 40. Gedaliah, the first administrator of Judah under Babylon, was ousted by him. Jeremiah 40 records that this Ishmael was of the seed royal, and he made an attempt to abduct and drive a group of Jewish captives into Ammon from this same eastern position. It is probable that this papyrus fragment refers to this Ishmael. 2. Peter's home. The fact that El Araj is the actual location of the New Testament town of Bethsaida is further supported by a prayer mentioning the Apostle Peter. The term the chief and commander of the heavenly apostles, which was frequently used by Christians at the time to refer to Peter, appears in a mosaic from a Byzantine church that was unearthed close to the Sea of Galilee. The inscription is thought to have originated from the Church of the Apostles, which was allegedly constructed on the site of Peter and Andrew's former residence. If true, that provides strong evidence that the location being excavated at El Araj is Bethsaida, the biblical home of Peter and Andrew. And finally, the most amazing discovery in biblical archaeology in 2022 is this. 1. The oldest Bible text ever found. In the Tunnel of Siloam recently an inscription was found that so far had escaped the notice of archaeologists because it is so vague. The inscription reads, "Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, made the pool in the tunnel. In the 17th year, in the 2nd day, in the 4th month of King Hezekiah, the king brought the water into the city by a tunnel, the king led the water into the pool. He smote the Philistines from Ekron to Gaza and placed there the Oreb unit of the army of Judah. He brake the images and braked in pieces the Nehushtan and he removed the high places and cut down the Asherah. Hezekiah, the king, accumulated in all his treasure houses and in the house of the Lord a lot of silver and gold, perfumes and good ointment." The inscriptions found in the Siloam Tunnel are actually the earliest manuscripts of the Bible. They are hundreds of years older than the Dead Sea Scrolls and around 100 years older than the silver Ketef Hinnom amulets. Their text is almost literally what is said in the Bible in 2 Kings 18 and 20. Though historians doubted this described actual history, this inscription proves King Hezekiah actually did what the Bible says he did. The Bible reflects historical reality and not imagination, as some academics suggested.